There once lived the greatest predator on the west side of Mexico, named Bruno the red-tailed hawk. His golden eyes and sharp sight let him catch a tiny worm from thousands of feet away. He would soar sky high and dive at the speed of sound. In fact, he was known at times for breaking the sound barrier. When you hear, you know it's already too late for escape. Wow, that was amazing, Bruno. How'd you even catch that? I didn't even realize the fish was there.
Appreciate it, everyone. Thank goodness for God's given gift to hawks. Our impeccable sight, the prey never stands a chance against us.
Ugh, whatever, Bruno. Anyone could have done that, especially me.
Ah, Flint. Cheerful as always. Well, why don't you give it a try then?
Uh, I don't have the time right now. I gotta go. But this story isn't about how sharp Bruno is. No, no, no. Quite the opposite. This story is about the predator who starts to lose that God-given gift.
Well, that was a little choppy, but I caught the fish. Must have been zoned out there for a little bit. Whoa, the splash and the trip? This is not me. Whatever, at least I didn't drop the fish. What the? How did I miss that? It was a clear target. Oh, bad day, I guess. I'll get back into it tomorrow.
But the thing is, he didn't get back into it tomorrow. In fact, he continued to misjudge distances, miss landings, and especially struggle catching prey at dusk. Days passed, and these challenges kept growing worse.
Wait, where did they come from? I didn't even see them around me. What is going on with me these days?
Nice one, Bruno. First you missed a fish, and then you almost crashed into a rock. And now you're swimming with the fish. If you can't beat him, join him. Hey, Bruno.
Just been a rough couple of days. It's just, I haven't lost my mojo. There's just no way I couldn't have.
Bruno, I think there's something seriously wrong with you.
Oh, hey, Bert. I usually don't see you flying around today. You're always reading around those nerd books of yours.
Bruno, I'm being serious. I've seen this type of behavior before. I don't think you're just having an off day. It seems like a mutation, a change in a gene that results in a variant form of a certain trait. Mutations can be good, bad, or neutral, but for you, I think this is really bad.
What are you talking about?
Alright, well, answer me these questions. Are you having trouble with judging distances?
Yes,
Harder to hunt at nighttime?
yes,
Missing landings often?
definitely.
Or even just having trouble seeing things on the side?
Unfortunately, yes. Oh, but that doesn't mean anything.
No, no, no. You're showing symptoms of gradual blindness. It's called autosomal dominant retinitis pigmentosa, or ADRP. It's something that happens slowly over time. The vision starts to fade, and it's harder to judge distances, harder to see things from the side. Normally, you should have clear, consistent peripheral vision that should not worsen quite drastically. You, however, have a drastically declining vision. What happens is your DNA got mutated in chromosome 3, and that messes up the RHO gene. The RHO gene is supposed to create retinosine proteins, which is responsible for clear vision. You seem likely to have that issue where you aren't making enough of it, and not all the vision signals are reaching your brain, hence the blurry vision.
You mean it's going to be like this forever? There's no cure or anything? No,
Unfortunately.
no, that cannot be. I've always had the sharpest eyes. I just can't lose that.
You hear that, guys? The so-called best predator isn't even going to be able to see soon.
No, no, I'll prove it. I can prove it that I can still hunt.
Bruno, in fear and confusion, runs away from the very land he once called home. He flies away, hoping to find answers to his condition.
What the? Where am I?
Relax, young one. You hit your head pretty hard there. Here, have some rabbits too.
Thanks, but who are you?
I'm Alder, a very, very old owl. Welcome to my humble abode.
Wait, are you...
Yes, yes, I was born a blind owl. But that's enough about me. I saw you were in a rush at night. What's your name and what were you doing?
I'm Bruno, and I'm the greatest, or was, the greatest hawk in all the lands. My friend told me that I might be suffering from a condition called ADRP, or my vision gradually fades. But I just don't understand how this could have happened. I was the best hunter with the greatest eyes in all the lands. Then all of a sudden I started to lose my vision and get this condition called autosomal dominant retinitis pigmentosa in my body. How did I even get it? I have no clue. And who decided that I needed this?
Young one, slow down. The ADRP was most likely written in your body's grand flight code, just like how your wings were shaped to fly and your beak was made to bite.
The grand flight code, that huge list of instructions that every bird in the region must follow? What does that have to do with my body?
Well, there's a smaller grand flight code inside of every bird as well, called DNA, and it's stored in a place called like the nest hall, called the nucleus. In this special grand flight code, there's a rule that dictates that wherever the sacred text has an A, adenine, it's paired with T, thymine, and wherever there's a C, cytosine, it's paired with G, guanine. These are called nitrogenous base pairings, where the specific pairing keeps the DNA double helix stable and uniform. The DNA holds the instructions for every feather, every talon, and yes, even your vision.
Well, how do those instructions create my traits and abilities?
Think of it like the actual grand flight code. Mr. Helicase is an enzyme that acts like the scribe's quill, where he unwinds the double-stranded DNA and lets the enzyme chief, RNA polymerase, in turn synthesize a complementary strand of messenger RNA, where A has to bond with T and C has to bond with G, and vice versa, from one of the DNA strands by adding specific RNA nucleotides. This is called transcription, which the chief can read the ancient code and create a copy of only the necessary instructions.
Wait, how does the chief RNA polymerase know how to add the RNA nucleotides to create a copy?
Chief RNA polymerase can craft a fresh copy known as messenger scroll, mRNA, using a special ink, the RNA nucleotides, that follows a sacred rule, RNA's complementary base pairing. This rule dictated that wherever the original text had an A, adenine, the scribe wrote a U, uracil, instead of a T, thymine. However, when a T appeared, the scribe still wrote A, and C, cytosine continued to pair with G, guanine, and vice versa. This ensured that the message remained accurate despite using a different method.
Well, then why don't we just use the original grand flight code, aka the DNA, instead of leaving it up to Mr. RNA polymerase to make a copy?
See, Bruno, DNA is too large and too precious to be moved from the nucleus, as it could be lost or damaged. RNA is a more versatile molecule that's able to carry such info in a repetitive form and can leave the nucleus to enter the cytoplasm. After its use, a temporary copy could be easily discarded after its purpose is fulfilled. Additionally, DNA must remain protected from potential damage or mutations, as it's the original, sacred instructions and cannot be tampered with. Before mRNA leaves the nucleus, it ensures it's carrying the proper message and takes it to be created.
Well, what if this messenger scroll mRNA doesn't have the right information?
Good question, Bruno. The enzyme complex ensures accuracy by proofreading the transcribed strand. However, mutations can still occur if errors go undetected. Once the mRNA is finalized, it exits the nucleus through small pores and travels to the ribosomes, the sites where translation happens, where the instructions are finally followed. Now imagine if the grand flight code had a single miswritten symbol. If a single base is changed, the wrong scribe, RNA polymerase, copies the wrong information, leading to a faulty messenger scroll, mRNA. That's what happened to your RHO gene, Bruno.
Wait, I think I know the rest. The messenger scroll mRNA is given to the transport and builder birds waiting at their nest. The transport birds read and follow the instructions exactly, bringing and building what's needed.
Precisely. This is translation, the process in which your body makes proteins using genetic information in the mRNA. Translation occurs in the ribosome, where transfer RNA, tRNA molecules, aka transport birds, deliver specific amino acids as they read the codons present in the mRNA scroll sequence. Each tRNA has an anticodon that's complementary to the mRNA codon, ensuring the correct amino acids placed in the growing polypeptide chain. Due to there only being 20 amino acids with 64 possible codons, repetition acts as a safeguard against most mutations, making them super minor. Unfortunately for you, Bruno, it affected you. rRNA, aka the builder birds, helps position mRNA and tRNA correctly and creates the formation of peptide bonds that hold amino acids together, constructing a protein chain and making the proteins needed in the body. Peptide bonds are covalent bonds that link amino acids together in a protein chain. They formed between the carboxyl group of one amino acid and the amino group of another through a dehydration reaction, releasing a molecule of water. This bond is essential for maintaining the structure and function of proteins. Think of it as a scroll instructing, transport birds delivering, and the builder birds placing sticks together, connected by leaves to create a big nest. The transport birds know when to begin at the start codon, AUG, which codes for methionine, and know when to stop when a stop codon, UAA, UAG, or UGA is reached, signaling the release of the completed polypeptide chain, aka a completed nest.
Okay, but I still don't understand how these proteins have anything to do with my vision.
Well, I thought that was obvious, Bruno. The RHO gene creates rhodospin proteins that are essential for normal vision. Without that protein, you create autosomal dominant redness pigmentosa.
Wait, what? Let me at least understand what that means. Like, I don't, like, what is it?
Autosomal dominant redness pigmentosa is what causes your vision to fade and deteriorate as the rhodospin protein is not created, so your vision isn't being clearly understood. What happens is that without this protein, your rod cells, the one responsible for getting vision, starts to deteriorate, creating tunnel vision and other symptoms. Your eyes keep trying to send a complete visual signal to your brain, but without rhodospin, some of that information gets lost or misunderstood, leading to blurry and failing vision.
Ah, so an alteration in the RHO gene led rhodopsin proteins to be produced less, which is what's causing my fading vision. So if it was always there in my genes, just waiting to be copied.
Yes, but you must understand that these instructions were most likely passed down to your body, just like how the grand flight code was passed down from generation to generation.
My father, I always remember he did act mysteriously towards his older age. But I always thought it was just his age catching up to him.
Well, tell me about it.
Well, my father was Mighty Hugo. He was a legend, the greatest predator in all of South America. He could spot a rodent from the tallest mountains and catch it in a millisecond. Nothing escaped him, but as time went on, there were moments of hesitation on his face, and sometimes he even missed a catch here and there. He never spoke about it, though, and he definitely did not admit it. But now I realize that he was just losing his eyesight, not and losing vision, just like me. But unlike me, he never lost his confidence. So one day he dived headfirst into a shimmering pile of red cobra snakes, ready to catch and snatch one of them. Only it wasn't snakes, it was an active volcano. He dove in, wings tucked, without heart without fear. And in that moment, he cemented his place in the Hall of Hawks.
Wow, I never knew that Mighty Hugo even had a son. Even though you inherited from him, I believe your father had a point mutation, where a substitution occurred in the nucleotides, causing a missense mutation where a different amino acid was created instead of the one that was supposed to be created. In you and your father's case, the rhodospin proteins that were necessary for vision were not created.
Yeah.
But remember, Bruno, you've also inherited his blazing spirit and his amazing skill. Your father may have carried this mutation, but his strengths were also passed down as well. Your genes are not just a limitation, but a legacy.
Thanks, Alder, but knowing about the problem really doesn't help me fix it. I'm never going to be a hunter again.
How do you think I've survived all these years? I've never needed eyes to hunt prey, and I'm sure you won't either. Come, Bruno, it's time to train. Let me teach you the ways of the blind owl. The ways of the silent assassin. Bruno, listen. You're disadvantaged when it comes to this gift of sight, but there are still other senses you can access to be the greatest hunter again. You must let go of what you've lost and embrace what you still have. Your ears, your feathers, your instincts, these will guide you to be better than any sight ever could.
But how? How can I hunt if I can't see my prey?
Close your eyes, Bruno. Tell me, what do you hear?
Wind. It's moving through the trees. I hear something rustling. Over there.
Good stuff, Bruno. That's a bush, swaying from the breeze. But I want you to listen deeper. The forest speaks if you let it.
That sound, it's small, fast. A mouse, perchance?
Correct, Bruno. Mice have quick, scattered vibrations. Now, keep listening. There's still more.
Something heavier. Seems slower. A rabbit?
Excellent. A rabbit's footsteps carry through the earth. And now, the final test. Feel the air around you. What does it tell you?
Something is moving nearby. I feel it. Could it be a snake?
Very good, Bruno. A snake slithering is a long, dragging vibration. You're learning quite well.
But how do I hunt without seeing?
Silence is your greatest weapon. The wind is your ally. Use it to feel, to hear, to hunt. Now, it's your turn. Remember, don't be discouraged. You were chosen to live without the best sight, but you were gifted with the confidence and one of the best ears.
I can't do this.
Yes, you can. You're more than your sight. Try again.
I did it. I actually did it.
And that's only the beginning. Bruno, there's still much more to learn.
Thank you, Alder. I won't forget this.
Go now. Show the world what a blind owl can do. Well, 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 look who's back. Tell us, Bruno, how's life as a helpless little bird? Have you accepted that you're nothing without your eyes? What the? How did you...
I don't need eyes to be the best.
I was wrong about you, Bruno.
Not wrong, just mistaken. I wasn't gifted with perfect sight. I earned my title through hunger, failure, and relentless training.
Actions speak louder than words, I guess. You proved it.
You have potential, Flint. Work hard, and maybe one day you'll surpass me.